Hey team, and welcome back. I'm Wayne from Daddy Bear Grills, and welcome back to my woodland Lizzie's yard in the heart of Kent. And this is our first video in our new setup. We've got our canopies up, we've got our dining area, our feasting area, we've got our new fire pit, and today we are going to be cooking dirty style. We're going to be doing caveman cooking, proper primal cooking, and this is something that you could do if you came down to one of our experiences here that you can check out in the comments below, where you'll see our 6 dates that we're running this summer. And today we're going to do some proper caveman. We're going to take it back primal. And we're going to do some dirty veggies. We're going to have some onions, we're going to have some peppers, we're going to have some, I love these chilies, so we're going to have some of these. And we're going to have, of course, our chimichurri. We're going to do a lovely chimichurri dressing that's going to go with the Bavette steak. Absolute Bavette steak is like one of my favourite cuts. I absolutely love it, and it is perfect. It's the perfect steak for the dirty caveman cooking directly on the coals. So we're going to get it all set up now. So all I literally am going to do with our steak is I'm just going to add some sea salt, and that's it. I'm just going to put a nice liberal covering on it because we want a nice form that'll make a lovely crust, that will. And then I'm just going to do both sides, and we just let that sit and dry brine while we get all our veggies and everything else on. So there we go. That is all I'm going to do with the beef, is literally a bit of salt, because salt, fire and the meat brings the ultimate party. That's what I think. They're the 3 ingredients that go together the best, and that is it. I want to talk a little bit about our setup with caveman cooking, dirty cooking. So when you're doing cooking directly on the coals, now the aim of it is that you want a nice bed of coals. Create yourself a really good bed. Now I've got blistering heat here. I put a couple of chambers full of for using the chimney starter, and I've done that because I've got an 80 centimetre kadai here. It's quite a large surface. So all you have to do is make sure that you create a little bed, so you've got a perfect bed, because what you want when you're doing dirty cooking, especially with steaks, is that you want to create the areas, because what you don't want to do is have your steak sitting on the coals and then automatically turn it straight over onto the same bit of coals. You want some fresh, fresh coals, because when you put this piece of meat onto the coals, it is going to start cooling them coals off, obviously. So you don't want to be putting it back on the same bit. You want to have a fresh bit of coals. So get yourself a nice bed of coals, and that is sitting there. Now, when you're doing dirty cooking, people get a little bit worried about it, but honestly, just do it. Just put it on there, trust the process, and honestly, it's absolutely delicious. Right, so start with, because they're going to take some time, I've got our sweet corns that I'm literally just going to plump in the side, and that was a bit hot. I'm not going to put these directly in the coals just yet, because they will go really black quite fast. But we're going to have our chilies. I'm just going to put these around the outsides, and we can move them around as we see fit. So got a few there, chuck them in. The onions though, the onions you want directly in the coals. You want them to be cooking directly right in them coals. It's time now that we get our steak in. So we're just going to get our steak just like that, and I'm going to go straight across, because I've got 2 beds here, so I'm literally going to start it there. And all we do is putting it straight on the coals, just like that. And you can hear it sizzling away straight away, and it's absolutely delicious. Like I say, don't be scared of putting meat straight on the coals, because it's what our ancestors used to do. This is the most primal way of cooking. And this is what all of our experiences at Lizzie's Yard are going to be all about. Primal, around the fire, drinking a few beers, chilling. Like, there's nothing more relaxing than being around the fire and looking at this beautiful bit of steak straight on the coals. So whilst the steak's going, I'm going to make the chimichurri. So I've got some parsley, I've got some dried oregano, I've got some salt, I've got some garlic, red onion, some red wine vinegar, and our olive oil. So That's going to go straight in there. So we're going to have our dried oregano. So we're going to do probably about the same amount. We're going to chop our red chilli. If you don't like it really hot, then just remove your seeds from your chilli, but I don't mind a bit of spice in mine. I'm going to put a nice bit of garlic, got some lovely wild garlic here. Look at the size of these cloves, they're lovely. All I have to do now is do 1 part red wine vinegar to get our acidity, and then 2 parts olive oil. There we go, that's looking absolutely delicious. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that sit to marinate into its flavours. The longer you let this sit, the more it's going to bring out that beautiful flavours from all them herbs and spices. We're over here now. The steak is looking a beautiful colour. We're now going to turn all our veggies round as well. So let's see what we're doing with the steak. So the steak looks absolutely delicious. Now look at that. So you've got a beautiful crust forming on the back of it. That is absolutely delicious. It's exactly what we want to see. And now I'm just going to move it over, so we're going to put it over on the new bed. So as you can see, it's got a lovely little colour to it, and the charcoal, you just knock it off. The charcoal knocks off completely, and it's adding. So you've got to think of the charcoal when you fire. That is your ingredient. It's not just a fuel source, it's your ingredient. It adds more flavour with the smokiness and the direct of the wood and the smoke and the embers. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to put these sweet corns directly in now, and I'm going to do the same with my peppers. I'm going to start moving them into the coals because we're on the second half of the steak now. We want them to get beautifully cooked. I'm just going to check where we're at with our thermopen. There we go, we're sitting at 61, so that's like medium rare, which is exactly where we want this. So that means we're going to take this off to rest it now. And there we have our dirty cooked caveman style Bavette steak straight on the coals with dirty coal roasted peppers, sweet corns and onions. Absolutely delicious. So let's see how we've done with a nice bit of chimichurri. Look at that, absolutely blushing. A tiny bit of chimichurri on that. Oh, it's beautiful every time. Absolutely beautiful. Is cooking dirty style, cooking around the campfire, being out in the woodland, being outdoors. Absolutely fantastic for the mental health, the physical health, everything. And that is why we are starting all of our live fire cooking experiences. We're going to be doing different themes: Argentinian open fire, Middle East fire feasts. We've got live fire cooking for the beginners and intermediates. We've got a Cadai masterclass where there's going to be covering all the Cadai fire bowls and all the accessories that you can cook on. We've only got limited spaces and limited dates. We're only running 6 dates throughout this summer, and if you look here you're going to see all the dates, and get yourself booked on. Comment below the word fire and we'll reach out. Now until next time, I'll see you next week. I'm going to dig into this because this is absolutely banging. We'll catch you next week.